Hey guys, it's Jeff Chan from MMA Shredded, and today I'm going to be breaking down my bear shin sparring that I had with Xavier Alaoui in Dubai. If you like this video, please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, as well as hit the notification button so that you get updated when a new video is released. Most of you guys should know Xavier Alaoui from TriStar by now. He was in my corner in my One Championship debut, and then more recently I was in his corner for his world title fight with UAE Warriors. I haven't been at TriStar since COVID hit, but apparently their new way of sparring is with small gloves and no shin guards. Because we are sparring bear shin, it's very important that we pick our kicks carefully. Shin on shin really hurts, especially when we are just sparring and not feeling the adrenaline of a real fight. We can do that by timing the kicks, setting them up with our hands, or using more feints and fakes. I will be breaking down some of the feints, fakes, and setups that I use to land my kicks later in this video. So over here I was hand playing with Xavier's lead hand with my lead hand. Xavier feinted across, which caused me to slip to the left, and as he threw his left hook, I stepped my lead leg in for a double leg takedown. Xavier was able to cross face with his right arm and eventually got his whizzer from his left arm, stuffing the takedown, but also preventing me from taking the back with his whizzer. He then planted his foot and went for a throw, but I was able to defend by bridging forward with my hips. During the attempt, he lost his whizzer and I took his back. As I went to lift and slam Xavier, he hooked onto my leg to prevent me from lifting him up. Then he performed a Granby roll by stepping his right foot in between my two legs and rolling onto his right shoulder. If I continued to hold onto his back, I would have face planted, so I instinctually let go and posted with my right arm. That allowed Xavier to be free, and he used his momentum of the roll to sit up and climbed into my guard. I quickly overhooked his right arm to tie up with him. As he started posturing and standing up, I stepped my feet on his hips and kicked off to create distance and stand back up, but he caught onto my foot and I wasn't able to create that distance. As soon as Xavier stepped back a little, I tried to technical stand by posting on my right arm and left leg, keeping my left hand up to protect my face and lifting my right leg up and back. As I tried to get up, Xavier goes to punch me and I fell to my back again. Xavier jumps back into my guard. Being on bottom guard in MMA is not a good position. You're going to get hit if you stay there. So I'm always looking for submissions, a sweep, or an opportunity to scramble back to my feet. On my third attempt here, I was able to create enough distance to stand back up. Earlier I mentioned that we need to time our kicks carefully. So over here, I parried his kick and into my low kick. You can see that Xavier tried to check, but the check was a second too late because to throw a jab, he needed to plant his leg, and that's when I threw the kick. A good way to fake in order to land a low kick is by throwing the double low kick. The meaning of using a fake is something not genuine and presented fraudulently. So in other words, we are showing the action of the strike but not attacking for real. So this first kick here is light, no intention of causing damage. I'm just kissing my shin with his, so it shouldn't hurt at all. And knowing that my opponent will drop their leg after blocking the first, we throw the second kick for real. Later I'll be breaking down how I use the feint to land a kick and how it's different from a fake. Here, I timed another low kick, an inside low kick, as Xavier moved in to punch because he can't check at the same time. After landing, I retracted my kicking leg back into southpaw stance and dropped right into my double leg since Xavier continued to rush forward. Xavier defended by sprawling and getting his whizzer. From here, I attempted an outside leg trip, but Xavier reversed it and ended up on top. A technique to stop your opponent from raining down punches on you is using the double knee shield to create a wedge in between you and your opponent. And when the opportunity presented itself, I framed off the face and technical lifted to scramble back up. If you guys are looking to learn more offensive combinations or counters to add to your arsenal of techniques while conditioning yourself like a fighter, check out my latest 33-day solo technique and conditioning program. It consists of 33 follow-along classes that are 45 minutes or longer. Each class you'll learn 7 to 14 new techniques followed by strength and conditioning to complement the techniques learned, and finishes off with an end of class ab burnout and stretch and cool down. No classes require any equipment or partner, it just requires you to show up. You can find the link in the description box below. Now just like 2 times at the beginning of this video, I punched to set up my low kick. I threw my cross, causing Xavier to focus on evading the punch, and I chopped the leg. Xavier is really good at getting into the pocket of a taller opponent with a body cross,
ducking right under my left hook, but also too close to me for my left hook to land, and then following up with his own left hook cross combination. As I mentioned earlier, a feint is different from a fake. It's the beginning of a motion of the strike, which is used to confuse the opponent. Over here, I used a feint to set up my low kick. So I stepped off to the side with my lead foot and just stepped and moved my right leg forward, feinting a kick. And you can see that Xavier took the bait and lifted his leg to check. Then I pushed off that foot and stepped to the side again with my lead foot, and by that time, Xavier had dropped his check and I scored the low kick. Another punch to kick combination here, and Xavier gets me right back, but with the inside low kick. And now here I faked a kick by lifting my knee up and threw a cross instead, followed by a low kick. So I essentially used a fake to set up my punch and my punch to set up my kick. And here I landed one of my favorite boxing counters. I slipped Xavier's cross while throwing a cross of my own. Xavier lands a perfect textbook jab here. As you can see, we are trying to throw real and accurate punches while wearing these MMA gloves, but also staying technical and very controlled. And I get him back with a low kick. Sometimes you can just throw the low kick without any setup if you feel your opponent is really focused on defending the hands. Here was a nice exchange. I threw my jab and Xavier slipped his head to the inside and tried to counter with a cross over top, but I leaned back to dodge and caught him with my left hook. And here I felt the shin on shin pain. It happens. What can you expect when you're sparring bare shin? Xavier shot for the takedown, and while I defended that, he got the body lock and took me down. When he stood to his feet to punch, that created space for me to hook onto his left leg with my right arm. From there, I spun clockwise and inverted, sliding my right shin against Xavier's left inner thigh. This is called the K-guard. Then I swung my left leg over and attempted to chop down on the other side of the thigh to break Xavier's posture and take his back, or to threaten with a leg lock, but he pulled his leg out. As Xavier backed away to pull his leg free, I wanted to use that opportunity to stand back up, but Xavier was quick to spin around to ground and pound. As he threw his left punch, I caught his wrist with my right hand, redirected it to my left, posted on my left arm, and hugged around his back with my right arm. From there, I spun around to take his back, but Xavier shook me off. I punched into landing my low kick again here, but as my leg bounced off Xavier's thigh, he caught my leg and threw a cross, taking me down. And was saved by the bell.